How to use the Launchpad as a Stepsequencer, version 2. With the Launchpad we can play the drums live, or run the sequencer, and start sequencing. We can put in steps, mute instruments, unmute single instruments, or unmute all at once. Also we can change the length of the sequence. But what's new in version 2? We can duplicate the current sequence with a single click, make some changes, and fill up to 4 pages of sequences. That means up to 8 bars. The session mode works just as normal. And of course the custom modes as well, with mappable buttons and sliders for effects. How to install. At first download the pack from my website. The link is in the description. Make sure you have the latest version of Ableton and the Launchpad runs the latest firmware. The downloaded Ableton set should look something like this. It contains 2 Max devices. In the preferences select the control surface to use the Launchpad session mode and make sure the MIDI inputs and outputs are set correctly. In this Max device select the MIDI clip in your drum rack. The clip should be on a different track than the sequencing device. Make sure your MIDI inputs and outputs are set to the Launchpad on channel 1 and monitoring is on. To run the sequencer, play the MIDI clip and go into user mode on the Launchpad. This mode must be in the default setting. You should now see the sequence running and you can put in steps and change it. With the 16 pads on the bottom left you can select an instrument and then put in steps on the right half of the Launchpad. Press and hold this button while you select an instrument to mute it. The muted instruments are indicated red. Repeat to unmute it. You can unmute all instruments at once pressing this button. Press and hold the button on the top to change the length of the loop. Your notes are still stored in the clip. This button will duplicate the current loop. To hear some changes in the new part, change the loop length again. Navigate through 4 pages with these 4 buttons. To leave the sequencer mode on the Launchpad, press any other mode button. The switch on the Max device says off. You can then go into session mode or the other custom modes. For example, you can go into MIDI mapping and map the buttons and sliders of the Launchpad just as usual. To go back to the sequencer, just press the user button. Thanks for watching.